But this is my Hiroshima Hex collection. I figured I'd share it with you and show you what I have done to fix my Year of the Moloch. It basically promised to give us everything to hold all this. Normally on my shelf, what I had was my base game, and then all of the armies stacked beside it. So the idea of being able to store everything in one box was extremely exciting to me, and I think I actually pre-ordered it before Ignacy was done. So let's open a box and see what's inside. First, let me say that this is sheer genius. Putting that face on the corner and giving it that three-dimensional view so it actually looks at you during sitting on the shelf. Sheer genius. I love it. All right, this is what I have stored in my box. Of course, I have the rule book and FAQ. So sweet having all of the material in one book. The FAQ, 20 years of questions, answers, rulings, the interaction between the 20 different armies. Again, a great resource. The board. This board is nice. It is 2 layers with another row of hexes on the outside and indentations for the tokens. Again, very nice. Now this is my original Hiroshima Hex board. Well, not the original, but one of the ones I use most often. It still has the outer ring for the life, the inner ring for a 2-player game, this extra row of hexes for a multiplayer game. Very functional. I keep it. I've kept it. It stays here just in case we are able to play more than one game at a time. Let's say I have 4 friends over. We can actually run 2 games. This is the promo. I think this is the Assassin promo. Bring that up so you can see it. Now, what I have done is I have sorted all my armies in pre-packages. For me, being able to set up the game rapidly and get playing is more important. I use this method, which I'll explain a little bit. So let's see what my collection consists of. We've already seen the Assassin token. This is terrain and terrain tiles from, I believe it was Hiroshima Hex Duel. I'm able to keep that. This is a box I have pre-staged for Beasts, which is coming out. Of course, we have the armies. Steel Police, Hegemony, Metaphisto, Sharash, Sandrunners, Vegas, New York Dancer, Smart, Neo Jungle, Death Breath, Iron Gang, Troglodytes, Doomsday Machine, Borgo, Outpost, Uniopolis, Moloch, and Mississippi. Each in their own self-contained box. I also have a copy of the solo deck, which is basically puzzles to solve. I haven't opened it yet. This is an absolute joy. having all of the armies in on a sheet where I can just dig out the one I want, hand it to the player, and he has everything he needs about the army. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. In the bottom of the box, things I don't use very often, some people have trouble tracking the initiative because the initiatives change. So I have these supply of very tiny, I think they're like 3mm maybe, dice, which you can place on the unit that has its initiative changed. Doesn't work perfectly, but it's a fixed solution. Moloch the Beginnings is a nice little mission type book that came with, I believe, with the promo. And I keep that material in here. This is the old Hiroshima Hex dual board. Each one of these have different powers, and of course, I don't play it very often, but I have the Hiroshima Hex dual rulebook, the terrain information sheet, and the Babel 13 missions. Let's put all this back. And again, good sturdy box. And here's what I keep in here. Here are the old cheats. These came with the game itself, and there were 5 armies. You have Doomsday Machine came with this. So having these, well, I do like the cardboard a little bit better than the plastic. I don't need duplicates. All of the paper rules for the various armies, again, they came in the box. I like having the originals. This is just a box full of spare tokens. The counters for the scenario. These are probably the best looking punch boards I have ever seen. They are beautiful. I don't think I ever remember seeing artwork on the backing of the punch sheet. These are so pretty. I didn't have the heart to actually punch them. So I just store them in here more as a keepsake. I have my 3.0 armies. But as you can see, this is just beautiful. So that is my collection of Hiroshima Hex. To set up the game, when I'm playing, we pull out the board. I hand one person an army. I hand a second person an army. And we're ready to play. Each one of these little bit boxes contains all of the tiles, the tokens, and you are effectively ready to play the game. When you're done, put everything back in the box and put it away. You're ready to go. This is approximately the same size as the box. It's the lid. What I found interesting is that had they made the box 1 centimeter taller, then all of the armies would have fit in it nice and easily. As you can see, if you don't mind box lift, you may still be able to use this. The biggest advantage of this would have been any future armies that they issue, you can just put in a box. and there's enough room for 2, and you still have a gap here. So you could hold, let's see, 5, 10, 13, 14, 28, and probably about another 6. So 34 armies would be able to fit in the box, and then with another centimeter on top, this would fit nicely as well as rule books. But if wishes were horses, all beggars would ride. That is not the decision that was made. The decision that was made was to use this plastic insert. Now, there are some really nice things about this plastic insert. One, all of the wells have imprinted the armies on the bottom. The armies do fit in each one of these wells, and there's an indentation for the special acrylic life token. Wonderful. Got some 4 small wells here. Difficulty comes in when you take a look at the armies themselves. So let's take a look at my sand runners here. There they are. So as you can see, and I'll zoom in on this a little bit. There is plenty of room for the armies. Now my fingers are a little small, so getting the army out of here, not very easy. That was the design they went with. My difficulty is, what do I do with all these tokens? Each one of the armies have special tokens that come with them. If nothing else, you're going to need the damage tokens. If I just put them in the wells, then I had to sort them out for each game. So, unfortunately, this is an engineering failure. To be truthful, I would have been happy if the year of Moloch, like I said, if the box was a centimeter taller, or we had just gotten boxes to hold them in. Doesn't have to be plastic. A good sturdy cardboard box would have worked just fine, just so I'm able to store them all in one place. The most disappointing of this entire situation was the Borgo miniature. It came broken. This is an actual picture of how it was shipped to me. Though it did include a nice little note saying that, we know it's going to break, but you can glue it together. This, in my opinion, was the biggest failure of all.